Welcome back to Dum-Dums and Dragons, where improvisers who've never role-played before journey into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. I am the Grand Wizard Bukaki, your host. After successfully escaping the Deathwind and stealing a new ship for themselves, our heroes have signed on with Captain Roberts to hunt for her old crew. But will they find who they're looking for? Will Captain Roberts replace our gang with far more capable pirates? Will she appreciate the haiku Butthole and Alan made for her fake birthday? Find out next on Dum-Dums and Dragons.
Okay, I think we should go back and forth on this. I'll do the first and last, you do the middle.
Okay.
See which, oh yeah, girl.
Today is your birthday. Yeah.
You a captain now. And then I put like a heart, and then I write butthole, and then I give it to Alan to sign.
I write Alan.
And then I look up at the golem, and I slide it over for him to sign too, so that he gets like an extra tip for being so birthday friendly.
He kind of looks at his giant stone hands, doesn't really know how to write, and he goes, ah! And he like kind of rapidly rubs one of his fingers along the bar until it's rough, and then uses that to kind of, he writes a really crude S. And then he puts little dots above it, so it kind of looks like a smiley face.
Perfect.
Not really, because, I mean, he's writing with a stone finger, but he's really trying.
So I fold it up real nice, and then I walk it over to the captain, and I'm like, happy birthday, Captain. And I set the card down.
Not my birthday. Not my birthday.
When is your birthday?
It's like in 2 weeks.
I take the card back, and I just write, happy early birthday. At the front, I'm like, happy early birthday. Also, don't tell the golem.
That's fine.
That's fine.
So the meal gets cooked, and a man comes out. He's an older man, true to his name. His beard is indeed green. And, he's wearing a dirty chef's apron. He looks up, and he makes eye contact with you, and he kind of, like, nods, and then comes over as if he's the chef, and is like, oh, I hear someone's got a birthday. Hello, Captain. Welcome back. Here you go.
Thank you.
How did you survive?
I was a captive.
Of who?
Kazrad.
Oh, I hate that guy.
I know.
I'm sorry, I've been hiding here as a cook. I've gotten very good at quesadillas.
Why are you hiding?
We were waiting for you to come back to lead us.
Okay, well, I'm back now, so maybe we can stop hiding now.
Okay, that's great. Hang on. Let me go get your birthday present. And he, like, goes back into the kitchen. And the golem, like, kind of turns to Butthole and, like, pops a thumb up and is like, I think this is going well.
And I give him a thumbs up back, and I'm like, you are fucking killing it, bud.
Oh, thanks. Greenbeard goes in, he comes back out with a fairly boring looking sort of satchel, just comes over and puts it down, and he's like, compliments of the chef, ha ha! And he leaves it by your feet, and he nods to you, and he says, I'll rendezvous with you back at the ship. And kind of goes back to cooking. Inside, you find your trusty sword, which is a +1 rapier, and its name is...
Bloodbringer.
So, Bloodbringer and your much better flintlock pistol, as well as, like, some of your sort of proper captain's gear. So he's left that with you. As he goes back into the kitchen, he goes and he kind of, like, puts a hand on the golem's shoulder and kind of whispers in his ear for a second. And the golem looks up at you, looks to Butthole, looks to you, looks to Greenbeard, thinks to himself, just nods. Sounds like you just got yourself a new chef. And he kind of, like, pats Sully on the back and takes his apron off and puts it on himself. Says, I'll carry on.
And I take one of my silvered warhammers, and I just say, a token of my esteem, and I give it to him.
Thanks. He puts it in the apron. Hey, Greenbeard, before you go, how many fajitas do you think that is? Greenbeard looks at him, he's like, that's too many fajitas. And he's like, ha ha ha, and the golem's like, ha ha ha.
I can't wait until we use that in battle.
Yeah.
Like, I like this new guy. Like, I am on board.
Because you guys befriended Stony, the golem bartender, he's willing to pour drinks for you for the rest of the night for free. He's going to give you some lodging in sort of the upper level of the grog barrel if you so desire. It also means that Greenbeard can talk with you. He doesn't have to, like, sneak off into the night because Stony's like, a friend of Greenbeard's is a friend of the tavern. So what do?
I want to ask him where the others are.
He comes over and basically the Deathwind descended hard on the ship and completely obliterated the original Sea Witch. Greenbeard was able to get away. He ran immediately to your quarters, and he had one moment of going, I'm going to miss these candles. And he grabbed as much stuff as he could and saluted it. And then by the time he got out, he'd lost sight of you, but knew that if anyone would survive it, it would be you. Since then, the only other crew member of note that he knows is around, Slim Jim Rogers, got into a lot of trouble with the law after you left. He kept trying to petition the governor to go after you, which was just a completely boneheaded decision on his part, because the governor was like, you mean, because this is, it's a pirate town, but they have to pretend that they're entirely legitimate.
Right.
So the governor's like, what, after the most notorious pirate we've ever seen? No, why would we do that? And Slim Jim's like, because she's the best. And it got him thrown in Dead Man's Drop after he came back the next day drunk and punched the governor in the face. Boots is a different story.
No.
Boots is dead.
Boots.
I have some strange news about Boots. There was a ship that came in not too long ago full of very scared, very traumatized merchants. They claimed to see a pirate ship in the mists, and they thought they saw someone who looked like Boots aboard it. There's a chance he might be damned and on a ghost ship right now.
Oh, fuck.
I know. Boots, right?
Classic Boots.
Typical.
So that's those are the only 2 crew members he knows of, but that's where they are.
Slutty Dave is just really honored to be a part of this conversation. He's sitting there eating fajitas, trying the quesadillas, but he's just respectfully silent because he wants you to enjoy your birthday.
He's also leaving all the salsa, sour cream, and guacamole in case one of those 3 is your favorite. He isn't sure, so he doesn't want to move.
But they're still pretty good.
Well, they're damn good. But
They're way better than what you ate as a slave for however long he's been there.
Yes.
Dead Man's Drop is the prison? Is that right?
It's as gross a prison as you'd expect on kind of like a pirate island. So it's built off the side of a cliff, and it primarily consists of cages on chains that can be reeled in, but the majority of the punishment is being kind of hung off the side of this cliff to just kind of bat against the cliff and the elements. So for the most hardcore criminals, that's what they get. And then they're sort of cut into the cliff for smaller cells for other people.
You guys feel like breaking someone out of jail?
Absolutely, I do. Yes, I do.
Over at the bar, I've just got my hands and fists, and they're near my face, and I'm just making a high-pitched sound because I'm so excited.
Alan?
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to find a way to use magic, obviously.
Also, I've been in jail, and that fucking sucks.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I was an oarsman, and I wasn't crazy about it, but sometimes you make a really good friend.
Slutty Dave
Anyway.
thinks you're talking about him maybe, but he gets it.
I'm not talking about Slutty Dave.
They paired on your shoulder goes, anyway.
So, Captain, should we sleep on it, or are we going right now?
What time is it? Is it bedtime?
No, I mean, really, you just, anytime can be bedtime if you're sleepy enough. It's probably just after noon.
Let's do it.
All right.
So we're getting day drunk. We had a day birthday dinner, solid 11 a.m. Now
Honestly,
we're just going to go do a nice afternoon jailbreak.
In pirate time, this is 5 p.m.
Yeah, everybody's day drunk. That's perfect. We're fine.
So I stand up in the middle of the bar and I go, hey guys, we're just going to go throw rocks at prisoners or whatever. Peace. And then I lead the troops out.
Quinny asks, why did you do that, Butthole?
I'm keeping the captain on the DL. Now it seems like it's about us and the rocks.
But the captain's coming with us
up
to
to
the
her.
prison.
Yeah, but that's up to her.
You could have named any other location and said we were going there.
Well, that would just be untrue.
Just before you go, Stoney brings over a small box for you, and he says, you didn't have time for your birthday dessert. Take this for the road. And it's a delicately made cupcake.
Aw, thanks, Tony.
You're welcome. And then you hear that grinding wink he does, and he's like, Captain Roberts. And he kind of chuckles because he likes being in on the secret, then he goes back to work. How do you want to go about your jailbreak?
I've swapped out my glass staff for my spider staff,
That's smart.
obviously, because I've got spider climb that I can cast it on myself or someone else.
I have a climbing kit as well.
I have a new shield. It looks good. And I got Slutty
covered
Dave's
in
Teamsters.
and the Teamsters.
So I'd say, should we go scope out the jail? We don't know who's hung where. What's going on?
Yes, I think some reconnaissance is required.
In your captain's gear, do you have a cool captain's telescope now as well?
Oh,
a
for
spyglass?
sure.
Okay, that'll help with reconnaissance then.
All right. So the Teamsters and Dave and I are going to just stay and bodyguard the captain in case anybody tries to jump us. You guys want to do some sneaking spy, and we can use the telescope and shit?
Works for me.
Cool.
Okay, so what I'm going to say is for the people who are using the telescope, probably get in one of the dinghies from the Sea Witch. Just kind of head out on the water a little bit so you can get some distance. The best way to think of this is the south side of Crabclaw Island is sheer cliff faces. Dead Man's Drop is kind of a chunk of that. So from the water, you're able to see that the cages stop probably 20 feet above the water level, just because the water can go up and down. They don't actually want to drown anyone. They just want everyone to think that they're constantly under threat of drowning. And otherwise goes all the way to the top. At the very top is sort of the observation area that's been carved into the side that has the overseers and the guards. And you can see kind of the outward-facing cells that have been carved in that stop just above where the cages hang.
So we bust out the telescope. Where's this dude at?
Captain, if you can roll me a perception check, please. And I'll give you a +5 for your wicked-ass telescope.
19.
As you remember, Slim Jim Rogers' name was ironic. So as you cast your eye about, you look for the cage that is the most full, and sure enough, you find it where there seems to be 300 pounds of man stuffed into a 180-pound man cage. You can kind of hear just sort of over the water some sort of like jolly singing, and you think it's probably him. He always seems like he's in a good mood. So he's suspended about midway up the cliff.
So how high above the water is that?
Let's say the cliff is 100 meters, last cage is 20 meters above sea level, so probably about 50 meters from the top or from the bottom.
I say we just cut the rope. Boom, catch him at the bottom. Cage will take the hit.
And his shins.
Oh, no,
and
no. We
knees.
tell him to jump right before it hits the water.
I should clarify, these cages are small. They're not like large
Right.
square cages. They're like, think elongated bird cages.
Okay, we need 60 meters of rope and a grappling hook.
I've got 50 feet of rope. And
I've meant feet this whole time.
Oh, okay. Great.
Just us Canadians with our metrics. I don't know.
Well, I don't got no rope. But
I have rope.
I don't have a grapple hook, but I do have a climber's kit. I could maybe try and climb up.
oh wait,
Do you want me to just cast spider climb on someone?
Oh no, here I think
And
I
you
got
can
it.
just climb up the wall.
Captain, I got
sounds
an
good.
idea. What if we go get 2 grappling hooks and we build a 60-foot rope ladder, and then we come back at night and you fly up there with your cloak of the bat, hook it on, fucking guy can just climb down after Quinny opens the door.
Yeah, I could totally do that.
Nobody sees anything. We just got to wait like 12 hours.
Okay.
We're not on the clock for anything, right? I think we're good. Yeah, we can wait.
Well, I
12
mean,
hours.
we've got this weird soul trap guy in a monster boat that ran away, but I mean, it's not like
that's all hearsay. We don't know if that's even true.
we don't have a ticking clock. Like
Right, okay.
it's functional.
I see. So you're not dropping the ladder from the top of the cliff and having Alan connect it. You're having Alan connect it from
To
the
the
cage
cage.
to the water.
From the cage to the water, and then they
Yeah.
Quinny will go up the ladder and unlock it, and then Quinny will come back down, and Fatty McGee will pull him
Excuse
down the
me.
ladder.
So I'm going to have to like hook it onto me because I have to grasp my cloak with my hands
Yeah.
in order to fly.
yeah.
So so I can just fly up to the cage.
And then you hold on the cage
Hold
with
on
one
to the
hand,
cage.
clip,
and then I can fly
and you
back.
can fly back down.
All right. Yeah, sure. So
Fucking killing it.
so night falls. You take your dinghy out. You're ready.
He takes his dinghy out. Anyway.
Butthole takes his dinghy out.
Alan, this is pretty exciting for you. In a short few weeks, you've gone from just like, oh, I'll stay at the back. Let's have guards on either side of me to flying. You turn into a bat sometimes.
Fuck yeah.
And, you feel like you're capable of great things. And that's pretty exciting. And it's cool to be part of the sneaky team.
Yes, it is.
So, Quinny, this is your first time sending Alan in alone on some sneaky business. How are you feeling about all
Okay,
this?
so I'm going to pull Alan aside, and I'm like, Alan, so proud of you. You're going to be great.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, welcome to the sneaky team. But, it's important. Like, it's super cool to be on the sneaky team, all right? No one is questioning that. But the important thing is to act like it's not cool. Like, you don't care that you're on the sneaky team. That's part of the whole sneaky team, like, vibe and mystique.
But I care so much.
I know. And that's the part of your nature that you're going to have to sort of deny as you're being sneaky. You're going to have to just be, like, real cool, real stealthy.
But I spent most of my life denying who I was. How am I supposed to deny it now?
All right, this struck a nerve way, way deeper than I expected it to. I'm glad we had this chat right before you're about to do some real risky, sneaky business. Good luck.
Thanks. Oh shit, I don't know what to do now.
I was so close to giving either of you a point of inspiration, but
I just
now,
fucked things up.
Alan, I'm actually going to give you a point of doubt. I'm going to make you make this check
Wow.
at a disadvantage because
Right.
if it
I'm
means
gonna call that -1.
yeah, if it means giving up who you are, is it really even worth being sneaky? You're going to find out. So, Captain, how's all this feeling for you? I mean, you've got a crew working for you again for the first time in months, which is pretty good.
It feels great.
Do you miss your old crew?
Of course. They're my buddies. A pirate queen is not, a common thing. And they accepted me for who I was, which was a female captain.
Butthole, fun with new friends. That's exciting.
Yeah, also it's kind of nice to be like back involved with like some sort of like mercenary enterprise where they're like other troopers. Like it's feeling good to just like do a job well, you know? So like while we're down here, I actually, on Captain's permission, I got Slutty Dave and his top 4 there again in a second dinghy, and it's just like they just got a bunch of loaded muskets lined up so that if anything goes wrong, they're just going to like pin down the guards at the top of the prison so we can get the hell out of there without getting shot to pieces.
I think one of their missions, while you guys were waiting for nightfall, was they made the exact same kind of outfits you made, but they did it in black. So these are their stealth outfits, but they're still like spectacular. They're just exact replicas.
Yeah, when they came out and showed us those outfits, I kissed Slutty Dave on the mouth. I was so happy.
Yeah, it's like the Venom phase of the Spider-Man suit. It's just like, oh god, it somehow looks even better. Like I don't want you to keep it forever, but it's cool for now.
Yeah, so like I have my cloak on as well, so I'm hidden, and then I made a miniature cloak for Goblin Jr., so he's also hidden. It's great.
Parrot Jr.'s just in a sock.
Yeah.
That's all he needed.
We made him like a cowl with a little necklace so it like hangs over his head like a hood. And when we put it on him, he went, well, that's fine.
Okay, so the time is nigh. Alan, you
got this,
do
Alan.
this?
You got this.
Yep. So can I get someone to hook these grappling hooks to me?
Yep, so I helped gear Alan up under like Quinny's supervision because he's the expert climber. But I mean, we saw that speech didn't go well, so we're sort of like minimizing
I'm
his
not a
direct
motivational
involvement.
speaker.
All right.
I'm not ever going to be.
So,
apparently.
Alan,
I would
you
like
see,
to cast guidance on Alan, knowing that some shit's going down.
Okay, what are you going to tell her? Or do
Just-
you just want her to believe that it was her all along?
I sort of just want her to believe that it's her all along. I've done this before, so I'm just going to be like, you're doing great. You got this. Like, the team's here. You're here for the team. Think about it. And I hold up my tattoo that says, Alan is your friend. And I'm like, you know it. I tap it, and then I just put my hand down. And I give her a thumbs up.
Okay.
And then I secretly cast guidance on her.
So similar to when you've just had too much coffee or something, you suddenly, like, you still feel really doubtful, but it doesn't seem to be affecting you anymore. Something's off. I don't know if it'll ever be okay, Alan. And off you go.
Woohoo! And I grip the edges of my cloak, and I fly up to the cage.
Great. So the wind blowing past you, you see the cage coming. Have you ever flown at this speed before? Because I think last time
I've done it once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You turned into a bat previously as well, right?
Yeah, and I've turned into a bat as well, yeah.
Based on your having done this before and having been a bat, you're able to kind of slow yourself as you approach the cage. So you're able to kind of just land gracefully atop the cage. Slim Jim Rogers looks up and says, "Oh, hey, who are you?"
Oh, hey, I'm a friend of Captain Roberts.
Captain Roberts?
Yeah. No, we're here to rescue you.
Oh,
Yeah,
amazing.
So I'm going to attach this rope ladder here to you, and my friend Quinny's going to come up, open your cage. You can come down.
So there's
it's all going to be good.
A cage a meter away from him to his right. There's a very like haggard-looking half-orc, and she says, "Wait, can you get me too?" Then someone else says, "Yeah, and me."
Sure, why are you guys here?
One of them's like, "Not murder," and the other one says, "Definitely murder. I'm here for murder."
Who'd you murder? Why'd you murder them? I'm just saying, I'm not one to judge. I've also murdered.
The one who definitely did not murder someone, if I did it, is what I would say hypothetically.
Orc J. Simpson.
Oh my God.
It was a crime of passion. And then I rode away on a Bronco I named Ford, and I didn't get far enough, so they caught me and they put me in this cage.
Okay, and the next one, you, over there.
Back down on the boat, I'm looking at both Captain Roberts and Butthole being like, it's taking longer than it ought to, right?
And I'm just giving him like that, like, give her a minute hand.
The other one says, listen, I'm going to level with you. I was working with the City Watch, back in Neverwinter, and I may have got a little too rough interrogating a goblin this one time, and things didn't go well, so I had to flee. I've been on the run, and then the governor owed Lord Never-Remember a favor, so here I am.
No, I totally get the difficulties that come with interrogating goblins.
Yeah, right?
Been there.
Slippery little bastards.
Okay, you know what? We're gonna get this friend, a friend of ours out of here first. We've only got this one rope ladder, and then we'll be back for you, okay?
Okay, Orc J says, listen, if you leave without me, I'm going to start yelling.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm not gonna leave without you.
Okay, then why don't you get us first and then your friend?
Because we have to prove that it works.
Yeah,
With
so
our friend.
Listen, I'll volunteer to go first. I volunteer as tribute. Send me.
I don't think I'm qualified to make these decisions. I think I'll need to ask my manager.
So he
I
goes,
mean, my captain.
I know some managers that are upstairs right now, and you know what? They might lighten my sentence hearing about this. And you see him taking a deep breath.
R.I.P. Orc J. Simpson. That is the of homicide.
Yeah.
And I just kind of say, oh, shit. And I just say, I really didn't want to do this, but I can't let you mess up our plan. And I just fire 5 magic missiles at him. For 19 damage.
They used to call him Orc J. Simpson. Now they just call him the Juice. Because he dies after the second one, and the rest just pulp his body out the side of the cage.
Oh my god.
Back down at the boat, you see several flashes of light coming from above the cage.
What, is she taking his picture?
I don't know. Listen, I usually try to stay positive, but this is getting weird.
Can we get me up there? I can't get up there, can I?
Yeah,
without her?
the rope's up there now.
Oh, it's been...
Well, we don't know if she's grounded it yet, so give it some tugs.
you give it some tugs.
Okay, so
hold
I
me.
tug on the rope gently, just
Alan,
like
you feel a gentle tugging on your waist.
I haven't hooked it up yet. Just shut up.
I can't hear. I can't hear anything.
Jim is like, I'm sorry. I'll try and be
So
quiet.
I do like a shake, 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 and I'm waiting for the 2 bits after the haircut.
And they don't come because it's not ready.
So the
I
other
say, Quinny, wait it out.
the other
And I
prisoner
look
is
over
like,
at Slutty Dave and I'm like, start aiming the rifles.
I just look over at the other prisoner. I just say, we'll get you down. Just don't make a fucking noise.
and she says, "Hey, that's cool. That's cool. I wasn't going to.
Right.
Wasn't my idea. Just do what you gotta do."
Okay. And I take the grappling hooks from my waist and I hook it up to the cage. And I glide back down to where my friends are.
Okay, you make it back down. Obviously, you see Alan approaching. You guys say or do anything?
I fist bump her.
I just wave Quinny up. I'm like, yeah, team spirit. Fucking guards.
Quinny, as you start to climb up, you see a couple of guards come to like the lip. They seem to have been drawn by the flashes of light. Can you roll me a stealth check at disadvantage since you're running up a rope? Unless you just want to like hang off it.
I'll stay still and hopefully just blend into the
Okay,
night
so
against
without
the cliff.
disadvantage.
24.
So they kind of look down. Problem is they're looking from up top down, so they can't see that there's one cage that's just dripping orc blood. I don't know. Just maybe one of them was taking someone's picture when they go back to their patrol.
And I take my hand down from where I was going to signal Slutty Dave's team, and I'm like, those 2 live to fight another day.
And Slutty Dave's like, "That's good. I could see his eyes. They were kind."
Just like yours, Dave.
Shucks.
Right, that's fine.
Quinny, you make it up the rope. You've made it to Slim Jim Rogers. What do you do?
I say, can you hold me through the cage? Can you pick me up through the cage?
He's like, "Can do." And he sticks like 2 of the beefiest arms you've ever seen, just like squeezes them through the cage and just grabs you like Simba.
Great. Now I have my hands free. And I reach into my pouch. I take out my thieves kit, and I am working on this lock.
Great. Roll me a lockpick, please.
So that is an 18.
Yeah, so it's easy. They don't really expect jailbreaks. Also, most people who get locked up here, no one cares about, or is a notorious pirate captain who gets hanged later that day. So, So you've got his cage door open. He is a massive man.
Can you get out of this thing on your own?
I can get out. Don't know about that rope though. You expect me to shimmy down?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh,
You are not who I was expecting to see. When I
don't-
heard the name Slim Jim.
Common misconception. My actual name is James.
Yeah, okay. You're a funny guy, Slim.
Ah, thanks. That's what they say. In the cage next to him, there's a female orc who's like, "Hey, your flying murder friend told me that maybe she could get me out too."
Yeah, that's turning into more and more of a maybe, pal.
I turn a thaumaturgy connection to Quinny from myself down below, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
She told a bunch of prisoners we all break them out.
Oh, listen.
Wait, can you hear me with thaumaturgy?
Yeah, I did like a round trip. It's like a cell phone.
I think that's bullshit, but okay.
Okay, but what about Slim Jim?
Slim Jim is fucking huge and is worried he won't make it down on this rope.
I put my hand over the thaumaturgical cell phone, and I turn to Alan and I'm like, okay, can't do a rope. Could anybody fly with that cloak?
I've got Featherfall.
And then I take my hand
tell him
back
to
off
jump.
the cell phone and I'm like, listen, this is going to be a tough sell. But Alan's going to use Featherfall, so we just need Slim Jim to jump.
Okay. Hey, Jim, how do you feel about jumping out of here?
Not great.
Not great.
Not great.
Could I sell you on it if I told you you would magically just gently sail down to a boat that has your captain, the Captain Bella Roberts, waiting for you?
I need to hear it from her.
Do you know what?
Let me pass you this magical fucking phone.
Yeah, you just pass it. I'm gonna put Bella on. Hello, is this Slim Jim?
Yes.
Okay, good. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure. Okay, here's Captain Bella. Tell Slim Jim he needs to jump.
Slim, is that you?
Captain. Yeah, it's me.
We're here to rescue you.
Do I have to jump out of this cage?
Yes. Don't worry.
As soon as he heard yes, he went. He trusts his captain. And he's
Amazing.
just fallen, and he hits so many cages on the way down.
But as soon as he jumps, I do raise my hands and cast Featherfall on him so that maybe he hits those cages a little less slowly.
If I'm not mistaken, Featherfall slows you before you hit the ground, or does it slow you the whole way
it
down?
slows you. A falling creature's rate of descent slows to 50 feet per round or 60 feet per round until the spell ends.
Cool. So he's definitely
immediately it
still
slows.
hitting those cages, but he's not going to take all the damage I was about to make him take. As he goes, he just yells into the thaumaturgical, I'm like, as you wish. But he is hitting those cages, so and it kind of sets off like a little bit of a nice little they almost sound like bells on the way down.
Okay.
So the guards who were up before come back and they're like, "Holy shit! It's some kind of super weird jailbreak. It's not a photo op at all."
I lean into my thaumaturgical cell phone and I'm like, if you're getting one more person out, you jump and you get him out now.
And Slim Jim says, what? Because he's got your magic phone.
I yell, damn you, Slim Jim, and I hang it up.
Suddenly and unexpectedly, you hear 3 cracks of thunder, or so it seems to you. But that's because most of you aren't used to the sound of rifles. And as Slutty Dave and his pals open fire, you watch 2 guards also fall face first over the cliff.
I don't cast Featherfall on them, obviously.
And Slutty Dave's already given the order to reload. He's like, anybody else want to be a hero?
And I turn to them and I'm like, do you want to live forever? And then I turn to Alan and I'm like, Alan, you promised other people out. Pick the least crazy one. If you can fly the rope over to them right fucking now, we might be able to do this. Otherwise, we leave.
It was just the one. Okay. So I fly up to Slim Jim's cage.
Like, Alan, what the hell are you doing?
So more guards are showing up with rifles. Slutty Dave and his team are firing. The guards are firing from on top. What are you doing with this cage?
Oh, shit. I can't pick it. I can't
That'll
pick the
have to be
lock.
me.
Fuck.
So fucking chivalrous, Alan. Here we go. And I jump from my cage and try and land on this other person's
Okay, roll
cage.
me an acrobatics check, please.
I use guidance.
No need, hopefully. 22.
You land successfully. You hear 2 lightning cracks above you as guards take shots.
Okay.
One of them misses. The other one's rifle explodes in his hands, blowing off his fingers.
Jesus.
Oh my
I
gosh.
start laughing uproariously beside the captain.
All right. As I guess like musket rounds are like flying around us, I just yell, hold me like a baby.
I thought you never asked. She puts her arms through and grabs you.
Great. So I use both my free hands to start picking the lock.
Okay.
26.
The door swings open. Unlike Slim Jim, she's much more agile. And she leaps out of the cage with you in her arms and she yells, "You said jump, right? And she holds you up as she falls.
I absolutely did not. I did not. I'm saying this like in a calm voice, like an indoor voice, but we are falling. I was like, I did not say that.
Oh, I'm so
I
sorry.
did not say to jump.
Wow.
We're going to die.
That is a tremendous misstep on my part. I apologize.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast Featherfall on the orc, and I'm going to then leap off of the cage and fly to Quinny and try to like kind of swoop in under him so he can land on my back.
And I raise a hand, and if the swoop doesn't work, I'm going to do a really desperate final attempt.
Okay, so Quinny, why don't you roll me an acrobatics check at disadvantage since you're just tumbling through the air?
Yeah. Well, that was a 3 on the first roll. And we'll go with that 3. So that's a 13.
You are flailing. The orc was going to hold on to you all the way down, but then she felt real sheepish. So she kind of did one of these and let you go and like put her arms up. She's like, I'm sorry. But then she starts falling really slowly and she's like, I'm more sorry now.
Okay, now I'm yelling because we're further away. Like, we're going to talk about this.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I couldn't cast Featherfall on both of you.
So Alan, can you please roll me? It's magical. I'll let you take an arcana for this.
Cool. 10 total.
You swoop, but you overshoot Quinny, and now you're hurtling towards the water at a rapid speed.
I summon
right.
a spectral hammer in Quinny's hand, hoping to Mary Poppins him down like I did Mudbutt.
Quinny, I'm going to give you a devil's bargain on this. You can grab the hammer, and you will be certain to land safely, but there will be consequence. Or you can take your chances with the water. Or Alan.
Okay, you know what? I fucked Alan up earlier, and so I need to make that right. I need to trust in Alan. I need to let her be herself, so I'm not going to go for the hammer. I'm going to trust in Alan.
All right, Alan. You got one roll to save Quinny.
All right. So I imagine this, I overshoot and I'm trying to swoop around to get him on the...
Yep.
And that is 14 total.
It's not good enough to grab him.
Fuck.
But
Bye.
I will give you a devil's bargain. You can release the cloak in the hopes that it will catch him and slow his fall somewhat, but then you will also fall. Now, you're not as far above the water, but you will likely take damage from it.
I'm going to do it. This was my fault. I was the one who saved that stupid half-orc and put us in this situation, so...
All right, so you release
do
the
it.
cloak?
Yeah.
So basically, it's like, you hurdle up, you miss, and you're just like, fuck it. So you let go and you sort of throw it up at him, and it flutters up, and it's still got enough momentum that it kind of somewhat breaks your fall. So Quinny, you're going to take, when you hit the water, 11 points of damage, because there's hella rocks. Alan, you'll be taking 7 points of damage. The orc drifts gently down to the water beside you. So
Well, that was worth it.
I'm going to need some athletics checks from you to swim to the boat.
I look at my hammer, and it turns its head towards me and gives me a nod, and I give it a nod, and it immediately flies up to where the guards are and just starts fucking smashing people up in the prison.
Captain, how are you feeling about all this?
It didn't go great. Unfortunately, I can't help very much, judging by my piece of paper. So I'm just
Do you want to row the boat towards them so they have less distance to cover?
absolutely.
Great. So can you make me an athletics check, please?
Oh man, considering we were oar mates, can I jump on it with her?
You sure can.
Might not be necessary.
Given that she just rolled a natural 20.
But I have a
It's about her.
-1 athletics. Is that okay?
At a natural 20, you critically succeed at whatever you're trying to
Okay.
do. You see your pal Slim Jim plummet from the sky like just a beautiful large comet, but then he starts drifting. You see some other random person slowly drifting down. You see the friendship between the party as they, sacrifice desperately for each other. You see Butthole commanding the hammers, and you think, you know what? These people are my crew now. So you haul ass with your hands. Butthole grabs the other 2 oars. You're both rowing, and as you get close, you see that there's a rifleman with a scope who's up top, and he's pulling up a bead on the back of Quinny's head as Quinny fumbles with the cloak. And from behind you, since you rolled so high, your tail comes with a pistol. So I'm going to give you 1 shot to kill this sniper. So roll your dice, madam. Get to add 6.
8.
You fire the pistol off. Fortunately, it's a pistol, so the range is off, but it's enough to make the sniper duck. So he's going to have 1 more round before he can take the shot. Quinny, can you roll me athletics, please?
That is a total of 1.
A natural 1?
I rolled a 2, and I've got -1 for athletics. The only way I can
You
actually
are
roll
just
a 1, it seems.
flailing in that cloak.
Yeah.
Alan, can you roll me an athletics, please?
9.
So I'm going to say you're treading water. Luckily for you, the captain rolled well, so the ship will be to you quickly. Meanwhile, up top, they're just guards doing their jobs, just getting hammered off the side of a cliff. It's creating a cacophony of cage bells.
Bong, 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 bong.
Pretty much. This is as close to a holiday episode as we get. The sniper's going to line up his shot on Quinny. Captain, you had 2 pistols with you, so I'm going to allow you another tail shot unless you want to aim it with your hands. But, being a badass tiefling, you do what you want.
I'll use the tail again.
Great.
Why not?
Fire at will.
23.
Yep, that's great. So you'll hit him and roll your damage. It's 1d10 plus 3, I believe.
4.
Total of 7. So you shoot him and hits him in the shoulder. He drops his rifle. He's holding the big hole in his arm. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to aim anymore. So with the sniper out of the way, you're able to kind of collect everyone close to the boat, including a half-orc lady who kind of climbs aboard and is like, hey, thanks for the save.
You shut the hell up. We're dealing with you later.
Don't worry, he gets grumpy. We're all gonna get back to the boat and we'll be fine. P.S. Let's go right now. We could die.
So yeah, you row out and you've successfully reobtained Slim Jim Rogers.
At which point we all jump in the air in slow-mo and high-five in the center of the boat.
Quinny
Quinny doesn't. Quinny crosses his arms, waterlogged.
Hey, Quinny, can I have my cloak back?
Yes.
Thank you.
And I reach out to both of them and cast Cure Wounds at a level 1. Yes! Which by default brings them back up to full health because it does 11 minimum healing.
Thanks.
Thanks, butthole.
No problem.
Alex, Slim Jim is your first mate or your quartermaster?
Slim Jim was my first mate.
Well, we'll fucking see about that.
Well, I mean, you guys might not always be aboard the ship. You might go on other adventures.
That's fine.
Nope, this is the show now.
Now sit right down and hear it. All right. So, having recovered some of your crew, Captain, I think the two big questions facing all of you now are: do you go in search of Boots, or do you attempt to track down the Deathwind, which you have a sense will continue to stalk you throughout your lives if you don't manage to find a way to deal with it?
Captain?
Can I ask Slim some questions?
Yeah, absolutely.
Does he know anything about Boots and where he might be?
So he was actually, he saw the battle where Boots was killed. He died the way he lived, gunning. He's heard similar tales. A couple of the convicts that were in the cages with him were talking about a ghost ship that prowled around the drifts that they always kind of saw at distance and then would try and flee. And it was a massive old, I mean, we're talking like primo ghost ship, Pirates of the Caribbean style, like chunks of it were missing, just like all the sails were shredded, and it would just kind of drift into being, and generally all these sailors would just haul ass out of there. One particularly foolhardy captain decided to engage it in combat, and the captain's ship was absolutely devastated. This person was the only survivor, and they said the gunning from that ghost ship was exquisite. So you've got a good sense that you think you know where Boots is. It's just a matter of whether or not you want to contend with a ghost ship.
I'll take some opinions into
So
consideration.
we'll do a round table? All right, we got a ghost ship. I don't know what kills ghost ships. We've done silvered stuff before. Like, we probably have to gear up if we're going to go after it. But I'd say...
Count as undead, right?
Possibly. That might be true. But I'd say we could silver some cannonballs, because we know that that's had luck. We could do some holy water stuff. Like, we could tool up for that. I mean, there's also... I don't know the history of this ghost ship, but when I hear Pirate Island, ghost ship that's been around forever, and Temple of the Forgotten God, I mean, that's like a 1 + 1 = 2 for me. Like, what's up with that temple? Maybe nothing, but maybe. Link up?
Yeah, maybe the secret to subduing ghosts.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go too far, but to say, if I were to define my ideals or my bonds, one of them would perhaps be, I'll never leave a friend behind. So if we've got a crew member who's out there as first mate of this ship, we got to get that. And I mean, if this fucking bullshit boat's hunting us anyways, maybe there's a way we can play them off against each other. Ghost meets spooky monster ship meet ghost. Whoever wins can eat us, and they just destroy each other.
Whoever wins gets a bite.
Yeah, Quinny's pretty interested in making sure that ship doesn't follow us now that he knows that there's documents on board it with the unseen hands sigil. So,
Did you say that, or was that a thought?
no, Quinny doesn't speak in third person.
Oh, God damn it.
He said.
Quinny, don't play that.
That's right.
Alan, what are your thoughts?
You know me. I'll go with you guys wherever. I love a good mystery.
I love that about you, Alan.
Where they lead, you will follow. Anywhere.
Right, that's fine. So I think, Captain, we got a strong interest in dealing with both of these things.
So I'm just going through the rest of the song in my head. It fits
I
so
understand.
well.
By all means.
Just don't go chasing
Still
waterfalls, Alan. Just stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to.
Like Eastport.
Or Westport. We've been both now. Yeah. Let's not go back to that prison, though. That seems shitty.
So it seems your two major leads for Boots, you know that the ghost ship is in the drifts, and that's where you can go to find it. Butthole has suggested that the Temple of the Forgotten God might have something to do with the ghosts.
Or it might have some gear that we could use to hurt ghosts. We don't have a lot of magical equipment on
Yeah, we
this
don't
ship.
have a lot of magical stuff.
Right.
Except for me. No, I know.
No, but it's true. But, like, let's say you try to
it's true,
save
it's
Quinny
true.
from a fall and then crash into the lake. Like, we need a backup plan.
Yeah, I agree.
We're not too far, right? We can check it out.
The temple? Yeah, the temple's not too far away. Can you please roll me a history check, Captain?
5.
You don't know much about the Temple of the Forgotten God. This being a pirate island, it's the kind of thing that you know people have gone into and raided. Like, it's not like a dungeon or a tomb that, you know, in D&D terms is always like, oh, they say there's a tomb up on the cliffs. No one's ever been. Like, this thing's been picked over. But, yeah, you know how to get there. You've never gone yourself. It was never of interest.
So you're not interested and you don't know much about it. Seems appropriate with the name, am I right? And I turn to Slutty Dave, and he's like just helping his guys do work on the ship. And I'm like, well, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, so if you want to check out the temple, you are very close to it, so it'd be easy
Yeah.
enough to get there.
Let's check it out.
So I turn to the pilot and say, Quinny, take us to that temple parking lot.
And then Slim Jim Rogers says, Quinny?
No. And I point in my eyes. I say, no.
He's like,
no.
Listen, wee man. Listen, wee man. I don't know who you think you're commanding, but Captain, I've always been first mate on your ships.
Oh, no.
Captain, I just want to point out, we spent a lot of time together. We got this boat together. We got him back for you. If my reward for helping you recollect your crew is a demotion, you're going to have a much more frustrated, perhaps less helpful cleric. That's not a threat. That's just a statement of how I'm feeling. I'm very vulnerable and scared right now. Goblin Jr. sits on my feet because he knows something's weird.
Listen, you guys are both great. I really appreciate both of you.
Oh, thanks, Captain.
That means a lot.
Means more to me.
I hate you.
All right, that's enough. Butthole, I'm sorry. I have to go with my first mate, my true first mate, Slim.
Slim Jim is like the happiest he could be, but he's keeping it cool. You know, he knows.
And I say, okay. And I turn around and I start lowering a dinghy into the water. And I climb down a rope and I get into the dinghy. I get Goblin Jr. and we row to shore alone.
Before you do all of that, I say, butthole, wait.
In my head, I'm already on shore.
Silently watching you row away from the ship.
While the Incredible Hulk TV show theme
right.
plays, like he just walks off into the distance.
All right, but I'm lowering the dinghy.
Is there another job that you want?
I'm not taking Slutty Dave's job. I trust people I put on this crew.
And they depend on you.
Well, apparently
Are you
Slim
abandoning
Jim's,
them? Are you
Slim Jim's
abandoning
Captain,
them?
I'm not in charge of them anymore.
You could be second mate.
I don't want to work under Slim Jim.
Head of,
Doesn't
head
mean
of,
you work
head
under
of
him.
personnel.
Listen, everybody works under the first mate. You can't call a job second mate and
Everybody
say that he
works
doesn't
under
work
the
under the first mate.
captain.
Yeah. And do you want to know what? Greatest captain ever. Not in question.
What about Chief Morality Officer?
Do I report to Slim Jim?
Don't look at me.
All right,
I'm not the captain.
listen.
I'm not the
having,
captain
I'm
now.
having trouble looking at her. My feelings are hurt, and I do not understand what is happening. I have been exemplary. She told me, good job. We had a birthday party. I am horrified. Slim Jim doesn't even have a fancy night stealth outfit.
Slim Jim looks down at his like tattered prisoner clothes. That is true.
I bet he didn't even enforce a dress code.
What about the ship cleric?
Do I report?
No, you
Slim
report to
Jim?
me.
Oh, then yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Wait, no. What about Slutty Dave? Like, I need a guarantee of employment for him.
You know, I've heard tell some of the men have been talking about. Slutty Dave, is it?
Great listening. Good to know you care about your
Look,
staff.
I just came aboard. Okay, I just came aboard the ship. I've been in
You're
a cage.
welcome.
Thank you, I guess. Listen, I'd be okay reporting to Slutty Dave. Maybe he could be first mate. That work for you, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm sold. Yeah.
Excuse me? What?
Captain, we found a compromise, and I go over and I shake his hand because I didn't know we were going to get along so well.
You know,
But
just
listen, we had a talk as two co-first mates for an instant. Then Slim Jim was first mate, but we're still talking because we're respected peers, depending on how this works out. We think Slutty Dave is the best first mate. Look at his shooting. He took the initiative. Nobody had to call for that. Got him out. Saved my ass forever. Pretty much the coolest guy ever. Crew loves him. Got a great hat.
Slutty Dave?
I'd be honored if you'll have me.
Let's make it happen.
And that, dear friends, was how Slutty Dave became the greatest first mate the seas had ever seen.
This episode of Dum-Dums and Dragons features the voices of Ryan LaPlante at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter, Tyler Hewitt at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter, Laura Hamstra at EL Hamstring on Twitter, our special guest, and our DM Tom McGee at McGeeTD on Twitter. This episode's sound was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and Dum-Dums and Dragons artwork is by Del Borovic, who can be found at delborovic.com. Our theme songs are And Now for That Massive Coronary and Skipping Through the Orchestra Pit Part 1 by Peter Gresser, and our ad music is No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR, all available at freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum-Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice. But most importantly, we've got merchandise at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice, or you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/dumdumdice. That's DUMBDUMBDICE. And tune in next week for more Dum-Dums and Dragons.